If you have kids between 5 and 16 and you teach them this one foundational money principle, it's going to set them up for success the rest of their life. I've had the privilege of helping families manage their wealth for the past decade and a half, and I get to see firsthand those who learned this principle early versus those who didn't. And the difference is very clear. I mean, I've actually used this in my own life with my own kids, and it really works. It's pretty amazing. By the way, I'm Dave Zoller, and I own a wealth management firm and a tax firm. And I've got another YouTube channel that has over 150,000 subscribers, but that's mainly focused on retirement planning. So I created this channel specifically for people who are under 50, who want to learn from those who have done what we're going for. So if that's you, hit the subscribe button, because every week I'm going to break down the exact strategies that my wealthy clients use. So when it comes to teaching kids about money, the wealthy families use a concept that you have heard before, but these families, they take it just one step further, and that's what makes all the difference. So we'll start with a simple concept if your kids are between 5 to 9 years old, and then we'll talk about what these families do. It's a bigger lesson that they focus on when they get to age 10 and above. And before we get into it, one quick thing that's been on my mind, something I've been thinking about is, has your son or daughter ever come to you when you're headed out the door to work and they grab you by the leg and they say, "Dad, please don't go to work. I want to spend time with you." If that's happened to you, you kind of know how heartbreaking that can feel. But here's what I learned. I learned it from a mentor. I don't want my kids to believe that work is something that I have to do that's taking me away from them, even though it technically is. But I believe this can put a subconscious dislike for work in their minds at a really young age. And I don't want my kids to believe that, because when this happens, when they say, if I'm walking out the door, they do this, I'll say, "I love spending time with you. I can't wait to see you when I get back. But right now, I need to go help some people. I get to go to work and I get to go help people. And then I'll be home and then we'll play." And I learned this from a mentor that the wealthy families teach their kids that work is a positive thing that brings value to other people. It's not something you have to do. So I just wanted to share that. Let me know if you like that idea by hitting the like button. Or if you do something similar, put it in the comments, please. I'd love to hear from you. But now let's get to the main idea, which is something you've heard before, and then I'll share the how they go deeper. Those rich families go deeper. And the thing that you've heard before is the 3-jar method. And early on, we want our kids to understand that every dollar they earn goes into 3 places: spend, save, and give. And early on, when they're between 5 and 9, you're going to decide the allocation to follow. So if they earn $20 this month, you'll sit down with them for 5 to 10 minutes each month, and then you'll give them the $20, and then you'll help them split into the 2 jars. Personally, we just did a simple 40-40-20% when they were young, and they could spend whatever they want in the spend jar. If it's in there, they do what they want, and they can choose to save that money too if they want. If they want to let it accumulate over a few months in the spend jar and then save up for something big, that's theirs. The save jar, that's money that they're not able to spend, but that is going to accumulate over time. But there's a big shift that happens at age 9 or 10, whenever your kid is ready. And for now, though, the main thing that you want to instill in them is that spending and saving should be equal priorities. Most kids, usually, you might realize this, they think that money is just for spending, but this shows them that savings is just as important, and that money in the give is just as important too. This is crucial because these wealthy families, they understand that generosity creates an abundance mindset. So when kids give regularly or put money into this give jar, they're literally practicing the belief that they have more than enough, so much that they can help other people. Because if you think about it, you can only give when you have excess. Every time your child puts money in that giving jar, they're reinforcing this message that I've got plenty and I've got enough to share. This is the opposite of how most people think about money when you think about it. Most people operate from scarcity, where there's not enough, or I need to keep all for myself. But when you teach kids to give first, you're really wiring their brain for abundance. I'll share some ways that we make giving exciting for our kids, even if they're only 5 years old. But then now I want to get to the most important thing that happens at age 9 or 10. And this is I think is the most important step. So when they get to 9 or 10 years old, you give them a choice. They can decide how much they want to put. When they earn money, they decide how much they want to put in spend or save. The giving jar stays the same, whatever percentage you decide. That's going to be a non-negotiable, but now they have the control over saving and spending. And you might be thinking, well, won't they just put everything in the spend jar? That might be their first thought, but here's that secret weapon that makes kids want to save money instead of spending it. Here it is. You become the bank and the bank pays interest. This is going to instill a habit of saving. I'll give you an example of how to do this specifically, but first, if you can do me a favor, I'd really like more parents to see this message. So can you either share this with someone or leave a comment or leave a like? And I hope this spreads the message out on YouTube. So here's how it works. If they have $20, they earn $20 this month. So they've got the choice of, so let's say we put $2 in the give jar. Now they have the choice on what to do with the other 18. But the money that they put in the save jar, this is the only amount that's going to be earning interest. And you're going to decide the interest rate. I would recommend making it a pretty high interest rate to make it real tangible, especially in the beginning with these low dollar amounts, so that they can see the benefit and get excited about it each month. So here's an example. Say your 10-year-old makes $20 this month because they did a lemonade stand or they did chores around the house. At the end of the month, you meet with them and then you allocate that $2, if you're doing 10%, to the give jar, non-negotiable. And then they have the freedom to do whatever they want in the save or the spend jar. But you need to paint the picture for them and say, yeah, if you want to spend all 18, you can do that, but you're going to earn $0 this month if you do that. If you decided to save 18 and have none in the spend jar, you're going to be earning, whatever you decide, $5 this month. Again, make it exciting for them. And you can let them know. The main thing is you want to let them know that saving, investing makes your money work for you rather than you always working for money. This is really the main principle that we want them to understand, because over 80% of Americans, they live paycheck to paycheck and they have no assets. We want our kids to not be like most people, right? And this system works because it makes abstract concepts concrete. Delayed gratification becomes a game and it has visible rewards for them because your child literally sees the money growing month after month. And they start asking questions like, well, if I don't buy this toy, how much can I put into the save jar? And then what will that equal at the end of the month? And then, they might be making a decision to still do the equal split 9 and 9. But the important thing is they're thinking about it now. This is really getting them into that rich mindset. So, and this is what's beautiful. They start making the trade-offs. Do I want the $10 toy now? Or do I want to do, have more interest next month? Some months they're going to choose the toy. That's fine. They're learning that spending has an opportunity cost. And that's the lesson that most adults never learn. You'll probably want to nudge them in the right direction and kind of lay out the different scenarios for them. My kids have now accumulated enough in their save jar that their money actually makes them $20 a month. And they often use just that interest, that $20 for the spending money that month. Now it's basketball cards. That's the big thing for my son. So it's been fun to see that, their little minds working on this and what they want to do next. And as for the give jar, how do you actually use that money? The easy one is if you go to church, have them bring some of the money to church and put it in the basket if it comes by, if you do that, or if there's a drop box or something like that. And then really praise them for doing that and talk about how they're actually helping people. Or if you want to wait till the end of the year, we get the World Vision Catalog that shows how much it costs, how many dollars it costs to buy livestock for kids and families in Africa. So you can buy a chicken that produces eggs for a family for, it's like $10 or something like that. And so they can equate that this dollar actually equals something that's going to benefit people, a tangible thing in this world. And that makes it tangible for the kids and makes it pretty exciting for them. The other thing is there might be random things that come up. One of the kids at school, one of their friends, their classmates, the family's house burned down and the school started a fund to help that family. And the kids were able to take their own money in their give jar, bring it to school. And that was a great feeling of satisfaction for them to help out. So if you like this idea of the 3 jars and becoming the bank for your kids, you're going to like this other video I made for the 12 uncommon money principles that's going to be useful for both you and your kids. So I'll see you over there. I hope it was helpful. If it was, click the like button and then I'll see you in that video. Take care.